Oh, Marvel, how did we get here?
Oh my God!
We started with this. And then we ended up with this. And that's not even counting how bad the Disney Plus shows have been, and I will give Hawkeye a little bit of leeway for being the least garbage of all of them. Anyway, I digress from my point. We are going to talk about a rumor regarding a new garbage tier Marvel Disney Plus show.
You've got to do better.
And Avengers 5. With that being said, you know the drill.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
You ever seen anything like this, Pat?
Yeah, that works.
I like
all right,
that a lot.
okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
We have a couple articles to look at today. First and foremost, we're going to look at this one because it goes along with everything else that Disney Plus is trying to do with the MCU, with Phase 4 of the MCU, as others have called it, and it's a good name for it. And we say that not to disparage the fact that there's female characters, but the fact that there's only going to be female characters in the prominent roles moving forward, except for Spider-Man, which, trust me, they're working on that too. But the nice thing is, if they go with, you know what, I'm getting off the topic again, and this video is going to be 40 minutes long, and I don't want it to be 40 minutes long.
2 hours later.
Exclusive, Nico Minoru Marvel series in development. This is talking about the Runaways, which comic book started in 2003, show on Hulu in 2017, only got 3 seasons. We'll dive into just a little bit of this article, then we have one from Bounding Into Comics. We'll take a look at this first. Here we go. Marvel's been around for a long time, giving characters like Captain America and Iron Man lengthy comic book history before they arrived on the screen. In comparison, Marvel's Runaways is pretty young. The comic first appeared, as we said, in 2003, and the Hulu series started up in 2017, only getting 3 seasons on the streamer. At the heart of Runaways is Nico Minoru, a powerful and interesting character who's barely gotten her start in the MCU. While Runaways has ended, it seems Nico Minoru's story has not. A trusted and proven inside source for Giant Freaking Robot has shared that a Nico Minoru series is in development. Now, just because this show's in development doesn't mean necessarily it's 100% going to happen. I could say I've got 800 things in development and none of them come to fruition, which I won't do because I don't look at my audience like, you know, I'm not combative with my audience. I appreciate them. So this is the luxury that Disney has of being a billion-dollar corporation that can continually denigrate and insult their fans, the paying customers. Our source shared that Marvel is working on a Nico Minoru series. However, they didn't confirm much more than that. It sounds like this could be a totally new version of the character with a new actress attached. We didn't confirm that though, and it's an interesting question. Hulu got started with a few different Marvel series that were soon canceled. There was Runaways and Hellstrom. Producer Jeff Loeb did confirm Runaways was part of the MCU at the time. These tie-ins were mostly seen in the way of mentions of Wakanda existing and checking in with the Marvel show Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, but the Hulu series didn't have actors like Robert Downey Jr. flying into episodes of Runaways. The tie-ins were loose and the audience for the series wasn't huge. Will Marvel recast the character for the Nico Minoru series? Oh, absolutely. They'll have to have a BIPOC, indigenous, Polynesian, Asian POC from the 18th quadrant of the 52nd latitude and longitude of like Somalia play this character, and make sure that they're trans non-binary alphabet to make sure they cast this and check every box that they can. I know nothing about this character, but I can already tell that this show makes no sense, so it would make perfect sense that they would make it now.
I got a 50-50 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak,
So you got a 25% at best. Your chances of winning drastically go down. You got a 33 and a third chance of winning. I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning. You take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning.
Will they treat her as the same character with the same history? It sounds like this will be a totally new version of the character, but we aren't sure. Currently, actress Lyrica Okano is voicing the actor of Nico Minoru for the Marvel Midnight Suns video game, so she hasn't moved away from the character yet. Nico Minoru is mostly shown as a teenager though, so recasting the character with a younger actress for the series may prove important. While the character was only created in the comics in 2003, she has still done a lot in that time, given the Nico Minoru series plenty of material to pull from. Oh, I'm sure they'll find some interesting material to use. It most likely seems a series centered on Nico would focus on her time with the Runaways, since that's where she's most well known. She is often considered the leader of the group, consisting of young people with supervillains for parents, but Nico has been a part of Secret Invasion. While it didn't happen in the comics, comic writer Brian Bendis has brought up at a Comic-Con panel that she should have ties to Doctor Strange based on her powers and origins. Oh, great, just like America Chavez, because everybody's looking forward to that.
Liar!
She's been part of the Secret Wars and Avengers storylines. There's plenty of room to develop a Nico Minoru storyline that removes her from Runaways. Will this happen? Time will tell, but honestly, this seems like something that's probably a couple years out as they're still focused on all those reshoots for Miss Marvel, which was so weird. Oh, Miss Marvel, the beloved character that's been around for like 4 years, 5 years. Big history there, right? Big identity-based character. And I have no problem with them having a Muslim superhero. I have a problem with them saying that this character's got such a rich history and acted like she sold all these books and nobody gave a shit about the books. There's a very small portion of people who gave a damn about the Miss Marvel books. Same with America Chavez. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. She didn't sell books, and this tying her to Doctor Strange now is going to be a garbage too, because she's going to be so overpowered, just like she is in the comics, because she's basically like a 17-year-old lesbian space Puerto Rican Superman, which is absolutely hilarious.
That's racist!
That she's an alien, she still has to be a marginalized minority. It's comical the way that they choose to do these things. We'll go over here now to a site with a little more journalistic integrity, bounding into comics, and Michael Austin with this article coming out yesterday. New rumor claims to reveal Marvel Studios' next Avengers storyline, says it will be a trilogy. Now, we had 4 Avengers films, 5 if you like me, kind of look at Civil War like a mini Avengers film. But a new rumor suggests the yet-to-be-announced 5th Avengers film will kick off a 3-movie adaptation of the Secret Wars storyline from Marvel Comics. Now, this means they've got a lot of characters they're going to have to introduce here, but odds are they'll do this wrong and really botch it. 7 years ago, I wouldn't have said that about the MCU. Hell, 4 years ago, in 2018, I wouldn't have said that about the MCU. But now, I have no faith after what they've done with the Disney Plus shows and these last 3 movies that were straight up MCU movies. I'm not counting No Way Home, because No Way Home was mostly Sony. So I'm not counting No Way Home in that. It is part of the MCU, but in this equation of bad MCU, this and that movie shattered all the COVID box office, excuses and crutch that the industry's been leaning on. Oh, the pandemic, that's why the box office is... No, you're making bad movies. You're making bad movies, and Day and Date hurt a lot of it. The original storyline from 1984 involves a large group of superheroes and supervillains being transported to Battleworld by a cosmic entity called the Beyonder. Upon entering Battleworld, the heroes and villains form teams and engage in various skirmishes with one another. Given the direction Marvel appears to be headed in, introducing various diverse legacy characters, the cast of characters in this live-action adaptation will look drastically different from its classic comic book counterpart. Now I want to go out and buy the Secret Wars. I'm sure they have it in like a compendium, because that's really what I want. This cover is just gorgeous. Look at this. And look, there's such a mix of characters, like men and women here. The rumor, which comes from Scooper Moth Culture, indicates that discussions are currently being had at Marvel over how to present the live-action interpretation of the beloved Marvel event. Avengers Secret Wars decisions are heating up with early drafts Having the story coming as a trilogy, ideas are massive, with Marvel planning the 3 parts to be filmed back to back. This is far from the first time an MCU adaptation of Secret Wars has been mentioned. If earlier reports turn out to be true, it could be the case that Avengers Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo return to direct the trilogy after directing many of Marvel's most successful films, namely Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, Endgame. However, on their way out, the Russos admitted they would be on board to return for an adaptation of Secret Wars. The book was a favorite of Joe Russo's as a child, as he was obsessed with the scale of getting all the heroes together, he told Bro Bible. I also like the idea of having villains team up with heroes. Anthony and I like the complicated relationship between the heroes and villains. We like villains who believe they're heroes in their own stories. So it's all sort of built into this notion of Secret Wars. To execute something on a scale of Infinity War was directly related to the dream of Secret Wars, which is even larger in scale. Anthony Russo added, saying it would be the biggest movie you could possibly imagine. The ambition of it is bigger than the ambition of the Infinity Saga. You figure if they're going to do this across 3 Avengers movies, they're probably going to stretch it out again, and it's not going to be like, Avengers movie 3 years in a row. I would say that this would be stretched out over the course of probably, 8-10 years, with other films kind of intertwining. Fucking nobody cares. Nobody cares about How I Met Your Father. Jesus. What the fuck? If this rumor proves to be true, the following implications are massive for the MCU. A Secret Wars event could be even bigger than Avengers Endgame. Hopefully it would be executed better than Endgame. As noted above, the original iteration of Secret Wars included a large host of characters. It featured Avengers, Fantastic Four, various solo heroes, X-Men, and a long list of villains including Galactus, Doctor Doom, and Magneto. Man, that is casting that just... And they better call them X-Men. I don't want to hear this. Well, they're mutants because X-Men is outdated. Bitch, you don't know anything.
You will be silent!
It may be the case that Marvel adapts a more recent comic book iteration of Secret Wars that debuted in 2015. Because of course they will. The storyline involved multiple universes colliding with another and combining to create a new battle world. Given the idea of the multiverse has made a central plot in Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness film, it also seems quite possible this rumored Avengers trilogy will attempt to adapt the storyline rather than its 84 counterpart. See?
You out of your goddamn mind. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
It's like going to your favorite restaurant. They bring you over to your favorite table, bring you your favorite drink, you sit down, you're like, hey, I'll take my New York strip, medium, baked potato, and a salad. And they're like, okay, we got you, Sam, we got you. And they go, come back, and they bring you a deconstructed vegan steak. And you're like, this isn't what I want. And then they immediately scream at you and call you a bigot and a racist and a homophobe and a veganophobe. And you're like, what? No. Just give the people what they want. Adapt the better of the 2 stories. My God, don't. It's just frustrating. 2015 Secret Wars comic book featured many of the company's diverse legacy characters. It included Sam Wilson's Captain America, Jane Foster's Thorsies, a version of Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel, and others. It's likely if this rumor pans out to be true, it will be populated by Marvel's less popular legacy counterparts.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
There you have it, folks. A tale of 2 articles, one from Giant Freaking Robot, the other from Bounding Into Comics. A Nico Minoru series, possibly in development for Disney+, and the Avengers plan moving forward. Secret Wars, another Avengers trilogy done by the Russo brothers. What would you all think about that? What do you say to that? Obviously, a lot of the subscribers here on my channel looking like a Nico Minoru series. I'm pretty sure Marvel's Runaways doesn't have an ardent following within my subscriber base. I just thought it was funny, given that everything Disney Plus is doing to lean into the MCU now, the all stunning, all brave, all new Marvel. It's just funny that they announced this like nobody character, just a nobody character from a nothing show and nothing comic run, that they're like, she's getting a series, it's going to be freaking amazing. If you don't like it, you're a istophobe. That's going to be the crux that they prop that show up on. And as far as the Avengers Secret Wars, if they're going to do post-2015 comics, it's going to be a dumpster fire. I mean, it'll probably be visually stunning in some ways, like these movies in that scope can tend to be, except for Eternals, which was just garbage. But no, if they do it like that, which they will, because they're introducing all these new characters, they're not going to be like, oh, we're going to bring back all these characters to do, you know, Battle World. It's going to be a dumpster fire of all these identity-driven post-2014 characters that nobody wants to see. So that's it, folks. Now it's your turn to do all the YouTube things. Do me a big favor, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that red button down there. And if you are going to subscribe to the channel, be sure to turn the bell on for notifications so you're notified every time we upload a new video or go live with one of our scheduled weekly live streams, like Monday nights at 8:35 Eastern with Going In Raw, featuring myself, my co-host Tony ToneDef, Vinnieart, and Red Gaze, here with you every week to break down pop culture's best and worst from all the franchises and entertainment you love. And then Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, The Place to Be Reviews live. Myself, Tony ToneDef, and our rotating panel of guests every week, featuring one of the funniest segments you'll find on this side of YouTube, Holy Shit News. I'm your Temple Queen of The Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember,